A court has seized assets worth over $26 million from the wife of a pro-Kremlin former member of parliament in Ukraine. The seizure is part of an ongoing investigation into the couple's alleged involvement in illegal activities. The former MP, Viktor Medvedchuk, has been under scrutiny by Ukrainian authorities for his close ties to Russia's government and his alleged involvement in financing separatist groups in eastern Ukraine. His wife, Oksana Marchenko, has also been implicated in these activities. Marchenko was recently put on the wanted list by Ukraine's security service, SSU, after she allegedly attempted to evade pre-trial investigation authorities. The court's decision to seize her assets concerns 13.7% of a company's shares that Marchenko holds through 4 offshore companies. In order to prevent the alienation or disposal of these securities, the court granted an application made by SSU investigators, which had been approved by the Oblast prosecutor's office. This means that Marchenko will not be able to sell or dispose of these assets until the investigation is complete. This is not the first time that Marchenko's assets have been targeted by Ukrainian authorities. Previously, assets and property worth over $5.6 billion, roughly $146.59 million were seized. These included corporate rights worth $2.6 billion, roughly $68 million, real estate, land plots, vehicles, and registered shares in 3 Oblast power distribution companies worth over $3 billion, roughly $78.5 million, which Marchenko held through offshore companies. The ultimate beneficiary of these assets is believed to be Marchenko herself. However, the investigation is still ongoing, and it remains to be seen whether any charges will be brought against her. The case highlights the ongoing tensions between Ukraine and Russia, and the extent to which some Ukrainian politicians and businessmen are believed to have close ties to Russia's government. Medvedchuk, the former MP and husband of Marchenko, is a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, and has been accused of using his political connections to further Russia's interests in Ukraine. The investigation into Medvedchuk and Marchenko is part of a broader crackdown on corruption and illegal activities in Ukraine, which has been ongoing since the 2014 revolution that ousted former President Viktor Yanukovych. While some critics have accused the Ukrainian government of using the crackdown as a way to silence political opponents, many Ukrainians see it as a necessary step towards rooting out corruption and improving the country's legal system. In any case, the seizure of Marchenko's assets shows that Ukrainian authorities are serious about holding those who engage in illegal activities accountable, regardless of their political connections or wealth. As the investigation continues, it remains to be seen what other revelations will come to light, and how the Ukrainian government will respond to them.
The Arctic region is experiencing significant changes that are causing concern for scientists in Norway. The area is warming at an alarming rate, and the effects of this warming are being felt across the region. The Svalbard Islands, in particular, are experiencing temperatures that are climbing up to 7 times quicker than in other parts of the world. This rapid warming is having a profound impact on the Arctic's environment. Sea ice is melting, causing rising sea levels and damaging buildings built on permafrost. Animals like polar bears are also changing their behavior, adapting to new hunting areas, and struggling to find food as their natural habitat changes. Despite these challenges, scientists in Norway are working hard to understand the impact of these changes and how they will affect the planet's future. They face a race against time to gather data before the Arctic environment changes beyond recognition. The Norwegian Research Station is home to a team of scientists studying the Arctic region. They use advanced technology to measure temperature, air quality, and sea ice levels. Their work is critical to understanding how the Arctic is changing and what can be done to mitigate its impact on the planet. One of the most significant challenges facing scientists in the Arctic is the rapid pace of change. The region is changing faster than anywhere else on Earth, making it difficult to predict long-term outcomes. For example, the melting of sea ice is leading to rising sea levels, which could have far-reaching consequences for coastal communities worldwide. The Arctic region is a hostile environment that presents significant challenges to researchers and scientists. In recent years, the accessibility of research sites in the Arctic has become increasingly difficult due to climate change and its impact on the environment. One of the most significant challenges facing researchers in the Arctic is the unpredictability of climate conditions. The harsh weather conditions in the Arctic can change rapidly and unexpectedly, making it challenging to conduct research safely and effectively. Extreme cold temperatures, blizzards, and high winds are just some of the hazards that researchers must navigate daily. Another challenge researchers face is the limited infrastructure available for conducting scientific research in the Arctic. Unlike other parts of the world, the Arctic region lacks the necessary infrastructure to support large-scale scientific projects. Researchers often have to rely on small, specialized teams, and equipment and supplies must be transported from far away, which can be costly and time-consuming. Moreover, the infrastructure needed to conduct research in the Arctic is also affected by climate change. As the permafrost melts, the ground becomes unstable, affecting the stability of buildings and other structures. It also makes transportation challenging, as roads and runways built on permafrost become unstable, posing significant safety risks for researchers and their equipment. The remoteness of the Arctic region also poses challenges for researchers. Many research sites in the Arctic are located far from populated areas, and transportation to these sites can be difficult and expensive. This remoteness makes it challenging to maintain equipment and supplies, leading to higher costs and delays in research projects. Despite these challenges, researchers in the Arctic continue to work tirelessly to collect data and understand the effects of climate change on the region. They use specialized equipment, such as icebreakers, to reach remote research sites and collect data on sea ice thickness, ocean temperatures, and marine life. The development of new technologies and techniques has also helped researchers overcome some of the challenges of conducting research in the Arctic. For example, researchers are now using drones to survey large areas of the Arctic quickly and safely, allowing them to gather data without risking human life. Despite these difficulties, scientists in Norway are making progress in understanding the impact of Arctic warming. They are using cutting-edge technology to collect data and collaborating with other experts around the world to share knowledge and findings. One of the key areas of research for scientists in Norway is the impact of Arctic warming on marine life. As sea ice melts, it's changing the chemistry of the ocean, making it more acidic. This change is having a profound impact on the creatures that live in the Arctic waters, from tiny plankton to larger animals like whales and seals. In addition to studying the impact of Arctic warming on marine life, scientists in Norway are also investigating its effect on land-based ecosystems. They are studying how melting permafrost is affecting soil quality and plant life, as well as the impact on animal habitats and migration patterns. As the Arctic region continues to warm at an alarming rate, scientists in Norway are working hard to understand the changes and their impact on the planet. Their work is vital to developing strategies to mitigate the impact of climate change and protect our planet's future. South Korea has been dealing with an increasing problem of social isolation and loneliness in recent years. According to a 2018 Ministry of Health and Welfare poll, nearly half of all Koreans aged 65 and older live alone, with an increasing proportion of young individuals experiencing feelings of loneliness as well. To address this issue, the South Korean government established the Lonely Senior Allowance. This program provides a monthly allowance of 100,000 won, about $90, to qualifying adults who are 65 or older and live alone. Those who participate in community activities such as volunteering or taking lessons can also receive an additional 30,000 won, about $27, per month. However, the program has lately expanded to accommodate younger people. In 2020, the government implemented the Lonely Youth Allowance, which gives financial assistance to those aged 19 to 34 who live alone and have low earnings. Depending on the applicant's financial status, the stipend can be worth up to 300,000 won, about $270 per month. The purpose of these allowances is to encourage socially isolated individuals to leave their houses and interact with others in their communities. The government intends to reduce some of the financial burden that may prohibit people from participating in social activities by giving financial assistance. Critics contend that the approach just addresses the symptoms of social isolation and does not address the underlying reasons. Some argue that the high cost of living in places such as Seoul makes it difficult for young people to purchase accommodation, leading to increasing rates of living alone. Others claim that the country's work ethic, which values long hours and productivity, contributes to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Despite these concerns, the program has gained considerable governmental and corporate sector support. Many businesses have made steps to support the program, such as providing discounts to those who get allowances. Local community centers have also been developed to facilitate social interaction and activities. It is crucial to remember that South Korea is not the only country dealing with loneliness and social isolation. Countries all throughout the world are dealing with comparable issues, particularly in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. The government of the United Kingdom, for example, has developed a loneliness strategy focused at reducing social isolation among elderly persons. Similarly, Japan has developed a program known as Furei Kippu, which allows people to earn credits by caring for or accompanying older people in their communities. Overall, while the South Korean government's policy may not address all of the underlying causes of social isolation and loneliness, it is a start in the right direction. The initiative provides a lifeline to persons who may otherwise feel isolated from their communities by providing financial support and encouraging community engagement. Programs like these will become increasingly crucial in encouraging social cohesiveness and well-being as we continue to manage the problems of an increasingly connected yet separated society. Studying abroad may be a life-changing experience that broadens your horizons while also providing you with significant academic and personal skills. However, with so many institutions around the world, choose which one to attend might be difficult. We'll walk you through the process of selecting the best university for your study abroad experience in this article. We will demonstrate how to select the best university for your study abroad experience. Determine your academic objectives and interests. Determining your academic goals and interests is an important step in selecting the best university for study abroad. This approach entails reflecting on your own goals, such as the subjects that interest you, the degrees you aim to obtain, and the job prospects you wish to pursue. This allows you to focus your search to institutions that offer programs that fit with your academic goals. For example, if you are interested in business and want to become an entrepreneur, you should look into institutions that offer courses in entrepreneurship or business management. Similarly, if you enjoy art and want to pursue a career in creative writing, you should look into universities with respected creative writing programs. In addition to your academic interests, you should evaluate how studying abroad can help you reach your long-term goals. Studying abroad can provide you with unique cultural experiences, language skills, and international connections, all of which can help you stand out to potential employers. It is critical to select a university that can help you achieve both academic and personal goals while also providing an environment that promotes growth and development. Language, culture, and location. The location of the university where you study abroad might have a big impact on your whole experience. When choosing a university, consider the location and whether the country, region, or city is favorable to your particular tastes, hobbies, and lifestyle. If you prefer winter sports and outdoor activities such as skiing, for example, universities in mountainous areas such as Colorado, Switzerland, Canada, or Japan may be great for you. Similarly, if you enjoy beaches and mild weather, universities in coastal places such as California, Australia, or Thailand may appeal to you. Another important factor to consider while selecting a university for study abroad is culture. Each country or region has its own distinct culture, traditions, customs, and values. To guarantee that the culture of the location where the university is located matches with your particular tastes, it is critical to conduct research and learn about it. Explore the local cuisine, music, art, festivals, and social customs. When choosing an institution for study abroad, language is also an important issue to consider. If you are traveling to a place where the major language is not your native language, you should consider enrolling in university language courses or taking language classes before you leave. This might make it easier to manage daily life and immerse oneself in the local culture. Finally, the location of the university can have an impact on your housing and transportation costs. When budgeting for your study abroad program, it is critical to include these fees. The cost of living in a large metropolis, such as London or New York, may be significantly higher than in smaller towns or rural locations. You should also evaluate whether public transportation is available or whether you need to buy a car or bike to get about. Accreditation and reputation. The reputation and accreditation of the institution are significant variables to consider while selecting a university for study abroad. The reputation of a university can influence how future employers see your degree as well as the quality of education you receive while studying. Consider investigating an institution's ranking in several worldwide university rankings, such as the QS World Institution Rankings or the Times Higher Education Rankings, to evaluate its reputation. These rankings assess colleges using a variety of criteria, including academic reputation, research output, student-to-faculty ratio, and employer reputation. Another important factor to consider while choosing a study abroad destination is accreditation. Accreditation is the process by which independent agencies review a university's academic programs to ensure that they fulfill worldwide quality standards. Accredited universities demonstrate that their academic programs have been assessed and have met stringent academic excellence standards. Attending an authorized university might provide you peace of mind that your education will be of high quality and acknowledged by other educational institutions and employers. Furthermore, accreditation may be required if you intend to continue your education after completing your degree or if you wish to transfer credits gained during your study abroad experience to another institution. When assessing a university's reputation, it's also important to evaluate alumni success stories. Alumni who have achieved success in their various industries can attest to the institution's educational quality. Investigating noteworthy university alumni can help you get a sense of the options open to graduates and the potential benefits of attending that specific college. Considerations for money. Financial concerns are an important component of selecting the correct university for study abroad programs. Studying abroad can be expensive, so consider how you will pay for your education and living expenses. Here are some important variables to consider. To begin, look at the tuition and fees of the universities you want to attend. This information is frequently available on their website or by contacting their admissions office. Remember that the cost will vary depending on the program, degree level, and resident status. Second, think about how much it would cost to live in the country or city where the university is located. This includes rent, food, transportation, and other costs. You can investigate the cost of living by using online tools such as Numbeo, which compares the cost of living in various places across the world. Understanding the cost of living can assist you in estimating your overall budget and ensuring that you can live comfortably while studying abroad. Third, investigate scholarships, grants, and other forms of financial assistance that may be available to you. Many colleges particularly offer scholarships to overseas students, and there are numerous external scholarships and grants available from organizations and foundations that promote study abroad programs. Investigate these opportunities early in the planning phase to ensure you have enough time to apply. It is critical to develop a budget that details all of your anticipated expenses and sources of revenue throughout your study abroad adventure. Be honest with yourself about your money, and account for unexpected charges such as medical problems or flight delays. A solid budget plan can help you stay on track financially and make the most of your study abroad experience without stress. Services for students on campus. For international students, selecting a university with comprehensive campus support services is crucial. Studying abroad may be intimidating and difficult, and having access to tools and assistance can help to ease the transition. When selecting an institution for study abroad, consider the following campus support services. Language classes are one of the most significant services provided by universities. If you are studying in a nation where the primary language is not your native language, you may want additional language assistance to effectively communicate. To assist students in improving their language skills, several colleges provide language courses, tutors, language exchange programs, and discussion partners. Tutoring is also essential for academic achievement. Universities frequently feature tutoring or writing facilities where you can get additional assistance with coursework, assignments, or exam preparation. These materials can be especially beneficial if you're having difficulty with a specific subject or adjusting to a new academic system. Another vital support function that universities should provide is mental health care. Studying abroad can be stressful, so having access to mental health specialists who can give counseling or treatment is essential. Look for universities with counseling facilities or mental health clinics where you can get help and advice. Cultural events and orientation programs can assist you in acclimating to your new surroundings and meeting other international students. Many institutions host cultural events, workshops, and trips that allow you to immerse yourself in the local culture while also connecting with other students on campus. Another crucial thing to consider while selecting a university for study abroad is housing support. Some colleges provide on-campus housing for overseas students, while others may help them find off-campus lodging. Look for universities with housing departments or counselors who can assist you in exploring your possibilities. Finally, make sure the university has an international student office that can help you during your study abroad experience. This office provides help with visas, immigration procedures, academic advising, and other administrative issues. The International Student Office can also be a helpful resource if you have any queries or concerns while studying abroad. Extracurricular activities and student life. It is critical to evaluate the student life and extracurricular activities available on campus while selecting an institution for study abroad. These activities can help you meet new people, discover new interests, and develop skills that will benefit your schooling and future employment possibilities. Here are some important variables to consider. To begin, look for clubs and organizations that share your interests and passions. Whether you enjoy sports, music, politics, or community service, there is almost certainly a club or organization for you. Joining these organizations can provide possibilities for leadership development, networking, and personal development. Second, think about joining the university's sports teams or fitness programs. Sports can be a great way to meet new people, keep active, and relax. Many universities have sporting facilities, gyms, fields, and courts where students can engage in a variety of sports and fitness activities. Third, seek for university volunteer opportunities or community service programs. Volunteering allows you to give back to your community while also developing key skills such as cooperation, problem solving, and leadership. Social and cultural events can be a terrific way to meet new people and learn about the local culture. Look for institutions that have frequent activities like festivals, concerts, movie evenings, or food fairs where you may meet other students and learn about the local culture. Consider the student life and extracurricular activities offered on campus while choosing an institution for study abroad. You may extend your study abroad experience and create memorable experiences by joining groups, participating in sports, volunteering, and attending social events. The world's fascination with the wealth of royals is nothing new, and the recent revelation of King Charles III's fortune has only added fuel to the fire. According to The Guardian, a comprehensive audit of the king's assets has placed his net worth at over $2 billion, an estimate that has been met with both awe and skepticism. While the figure may pale in comparison to the fortunes of some other monarchs around the world, it is still a staggering amount of wealth for any individual to possess. The king's assets reportedly include everything from country estates and racehorses to paintings and a private jewel collection. Even the Duchy of Lancaster property portfolio, which was created almost 800 years ago to provide a private income for the monarch, is said to be worth more than $800 million. Of course, not everyone is convinced by these estimates. A spokesperson for the king dismissed the figures as a highly creative mix of speculation, assumption, and inaccuracy, suggesting that the true value of the royal family's assets may never be fully known. Despite this pushback, the public's interest in the wealth of royals is unlikely to dissipate anytime soon. For many people, the idea of living a life of such opulence and luxury is both alluring and enigmatic. While some may question the ethics of such vast wealth accumulation in a world where so many struggle to make ends meet, others see the glamour and prestige associated with royal lifestyles as something to aspire towards. No matter where one falls on this spectrum, there's no denying that the revelation of King Charles III's wealth has captured the attention of the world. Whether or not the figures reported by The Guardian are accurate, they offer a glimpse into a world few of us will ever experience firsthand, a world of unimaginable riches and privilege. On this day, April 18, in the year 1930, a group of scientists at Bell Labs in New York City made a discovery that would change the world forever. They had been working on a new type of device called a transistor, which was designed to replace the bulky and unreliable vacuum tubes that were then used in electronics. The team, led by William Shockley and including John Bardeen and Walter Brattain, had been experimenting with a material called germanium, which they believed could be used to create a better transistor. After weeks of trial and error, they finally hit upon the right combination of materials and techniques, and on this day they successfully demonstrated the first working transistor. The significance of this discovery cannot be overstated. Vacuum tubes were large, fragile, and required a great deal of power to operate. Transistors, on the other hand, were tiny and could be mass-produced, making them much cheaper and more reliable. They also consumed much less power, which meant that electronic devices could be made smaller and run for longer on batteries. Although the first transistor was a simple device, it paved the way for a revolution in electronics. Within a few years, transistors had replaced vacuum tubes in almost every application, from radios and televisions to computers and telecommunications equipment. Today, billions of transistors are manufactured every year, powering everything from smartphones to supercomputers. But while the invention of the transistor was undoubtedly an important event, there have been many other notable events that have occurred on this day throughout history. For example, on April 18, 1775, Paul Revere rode through the streets of Boston to warn his fellow colonists that British troops were on their way to arrest Samuel Adams and John Hancock. This act of bravery helped to spark the American Revolution. In a more lighthearted event, on April 18, 1930, the BBC reported on a miracle in Switzerland, where a cow had apparently survived for 3 days without water or food. The story was later revealed to be a hoax, but it captured the public's imagination at the time. Another important event that occurred on this day was the signing of the Warsaw Pact in 1955. This treaty, signed by the Soviet Union and its Eastern European allies, was seen as a response to the formation of NATO by Western powers. The Warsaw Pact would remain in effect until the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. In more recent years, April 18th has been marked by a number of tragic events, including the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City in 1995, which killed 168 people, and the sinking of the South Korean ferry Sewol in 2014, which claimed the lives of 304 passengers and crew members. Despite these dark moments, However, April 18th remains a day of significance and importance in world history. From the invention of the transistor to the bravery of Paul Revere, there have been many events that have shaped our world and continue to influence it today. Celebrity culture has become an integral part of our society. With the rise of social media, we are constantly bombarded with images and information about our favorite celebrities. For teenagers, in particular, the impact of celebrity culture can be both positive and negative. One specific aspect of celebrity culture that has a significant influence on teenagers is the obsession with physical appearance. Celebrities are often seen as role models when it comes to fashion, beauty, and fitness. Teenagers, who are still in the process of developing their sense of self, may feel pressure to conform to these standards in order to fit in or be accepted by their peers. This pressure can lead to unhealthy behaviors such as extreme dieting, excessive exercise, and even plastic surgery. In fact, according to a survey conducted by the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, the number of teenagers undergoing cosmetic procedures has increased by approximately 200% since the year 2000. This increase can be attributed, in part, to the influence of celebrity culture. Moreover, the pressure to conform to these beauty standards can have a detrimental effect on teenagers' mental health. Studies have shown that constant exposure to images of perfect bodies can lead to body dissatisfaction and low self-esteem, especially in young girls. This can lead to a range of issues including anxiety, depression, and eating disorders. Additionally, the constant scrutiny that celebrities face in the media can also have a negative impact on teenagers' mental health. The paparazzi and tabloids often focus on the personal lives of celebrities, digging up dirt and spreading rumors. This can create unrealistic expectations for teenagers, who may view this type of behavior as normal or even desirable. On the other hand, some aspects of celebrity culture can have a positive influence on teenagers. Celebrities can use their platform to raise awareness and promote important social causes. For example, many celebrities have used their influence to advocate for climate change, LGBTQ+ rights, and mental health awareness. Furthermore, celebrities can serve as role models for teenagers who are interested in pursuing creative careers such as acting, music, or fashion. Seeing successful individuals who have achieved their dreams can inspire young people to pursue their own passions and work towards their goals.
On this date in 1961, April 12, Yuri Gagarin became the first human to journey into space. This tremendous achievement was a watershed moment in space exploration history, paving the path for future investigations of our universe. Gagarin was chosen as one of 20 cosmonauts to participate in the Vostok space program as a Soviet Air Force pilot. The Vostok 1 mission lasted slightly over 2 hours and consisted of one orbit around Earth before Gagarin safely returned to Earth. Gagarin became an immediate hero in the Soviet Union and around the world as a result of his flight. His achievement highlighted the Soviet Union's scientific strength and began the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union. Even more impressive than the feat itself was Gagarin's sense of humor and modesty during his sudden celebrity. During a news conference following his journey, he joked that he didn't see any angels or God, breaking conventional expectations of religious encounters in space. He also thanked the hundreds of engineers and professionals that helped make his journey possible. Fast forward to April 12, 2019, and a far less serious situation occurred. A herd of cows managed to escape their confinement and take over a Walmart parking lot in a tiny town in Texas. It's unknown how the cows managed to escape or why they chose the Walmart parking lot as their destination, but it really caused a commotion. Photos and videos of cows grazing freely among parked cars and perplexed customers immediately went viral on social media. Local police were called to the site to return the cows to their cage, but not before the animals did minor damage to parked automobiles. Despite the mayhem that ensued, no one was injured, and the cows were eventually restored to their confinement safely. The incident brought much-needed levity in an otherwise monotonous news cycle, as well as a reminder of the unexpected surprises that life may bring. On a more serious note, Equal Pay Day is observed on April 12th. This day commemorates how far into the year women must labor in order to earn what men earned the previous year. The gender wage gap has been a continuous issue throughout history, affecting women from all walks of life and professions. Although there has been progress in closing this gap in recent years, there is still much work to be done. According to the National Women's Law Center, women earn only 82 cents for every dollar earned by men in the United States. The wage disparity is significantly greater for women of race. Equal Pay Day serves as a reminder that much work has to be done to achieve true justice and fairness in the workplace. Individuals and organizations must work together to close the gender wage gap and ensure that everyone has equal opportunities to succeed. To summarize, April 12th has witnessed both momentous triumphs and light-hearted moments throughout history. This day serves as a reminder of the unexpected twists and turns that life may offer, from Yuri Gagarin's historic journey into space to a herd of cows taking over a Walmart parking lot. As we commemorate Equal Pay Day, we are reminded of the continuous fight for equality and the significance of working for a more just and equitable future for all. Twitter is one of the world's most popular social media networks. Several high-profile executives have worked for the company throughout the years, including former CEO Dick Costolo, former CFO Ali Rogani, and former CLO Vijaya Gadde. These three CEOs recently made waves when they filed a lawsuit against Twitter. According to the lawsuit, Twitter violated its fiduciary obligation to its shareholders by misleading them about the platform's growth potential. The executives argue, in particular, that Twitter provided inaccurate and deceptive statistics regarding its user engagement and growth in order to artificially raise its stock price. According to the lawsuit, Twitter's management team was aware of the platform's issues with user growth and engagement, but neglected to inform shareholders of this information. Instead, they continued to laud the platform's development potential and encourage investors to purchase more shares. The executives were also allegedly punished against for raising concerns about the company's procedures, according to the lawsuit. The complaint specifically alleges that Costolo, Rogani, and Gadde were ostracized and eventually fired after raising concerns about Twitter's business practices. There are several reasons why this lawsuit is relevant. For starters, it emphasizes the significance of transparency and honesty in corporate governance. In order to make informed investment decisions, shareholders rely on accurate information from corporations. Management teams put investors at risk when they deliver inaccurate or misleading information. Second, the case offers information on Twitter's leadership team's internal dynamics. The fact that three high-level executives felt forced to sue their former employer implies that major conflicts and tensions existed within the organization. Finally, the case raises concerns about Twitter's future orientation as a firm. With so much uncertainty and turbulence at the executive level, it is unclear what the social media platform's future holds. Will Twitter be able to recover its shareholders' trust and forge a new course? The only way to know is to wait and see. This case gives an opportunity for ESL students to develop reading and comprehension skills while learning about an important business topic. To properly comprehend the essay, you must first understand core business terms and ideas such as fiduciary duty, shareholder, and business practices. Reading actively, rather than passively, is one effective approach for enhancing reading comprehension. This entails questioning the material, formulating predictions, and summarizing essential points. Longer pieces can be made more approachable and digestible by breaking them up into smaller sections. Another effective strategy is to concentrate on unusual words and phrases. When you come across a term or phrase that you don't immediately grasp, try to figure out what it means based on context cues. Look up the word in a dictionary or an online resource if necessary. Finally, it is critical to practice often in order to improve one's reading skills over time. Reading a variety of things, such as news stories, books, and academic papers, can aid in the development of understanding and vocabulary. Taking notes and sharing the subject with others can also help to strengthen learning and retention. Finally, the recent lawsuit filed against Twitter by its former CEO, CFO, and CLO underlines the significance of transparency and honesty in corporate governance. This article provides an opportunity for ESL students to develop reading and comprehension skills while learning about current business events. ESL students can develop the abilities needed to excel in business and beyond by actively engaging with the material, focusing on unfamiliar words and phrases, and practicing on a regular basis.
As we age, our body undergoes numerous changes that can be assessed through biomarkers of aging. These biomarkers are a combination of biological parameters that help us track the aging process and predict our transition into pathological states. In this article, we will take a closer look at biomarkers of aging, their potential uses, and limitations. Biomarkers of aging can be broadly categorized into 6 pillars: physiological characteristics, medical imaging, histological features, cellular alterations, molecular changes, and secretory factors. Physiological characteristics include measures such as blood pressure, heart rate variability, and muscle strength. Medical imaging techniques such as computed tomography, CT, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, and positron emission tomography, PET, can provide detailed information on structural changes in organs and tissues. Histological features refer to changes in tissue structure and organization that occur during aging. Cellular alterations can be detected by measuring telomere length, DNA damage, and mitochondrial function. Molecular changes involve alterations in gene expression, protein synthesis, and metabolic pathways. Secretory factors include hormones, cytokines, and growth factors that regulate tissue remodeling, inflammation, and immune function. Despite the broad spectrum of biomarkers of aging available, their potential uses and limitations remain poorly characterized. To fulfill all requisites, aging biomarkers should qualify for being specific, systemic, and clinically relevant. Specificity refers to the ability of a biomarker to distinguish between different aspects of aging. Systemic nature helps to capture global changes that occur with aging. Clinically relevant biomarkers can aid in predicting the onset of age-related diseases and monitor the effectiveness of interventions. Biomarkers of aging are an essential tool for researchers to understand aging at the cellular, organ, and organismal levels. The development of specific, systemic, and clinically relevant aging biomarkers could pave the way for personalized interventions and treatments that improve health span and lifespan.
It's a Monday morning at the office and Bob and Jenny have just arrived.
Good morning, Jenny. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. I went hiking with some friends. How about yours?
It was good, just relaxed at home.
As they make their way to their desks, there seems to be a commotion near the coffee machine.
What's going on over there?
Looks like the coffee machine is broken again.
They both sigh in frustration, knowing that the coffee machine is a crucial part of their morning routine.
Well, there goes my plan for staying awake during the meeting.
Same here. Do you think we should report it to the IT department?
Just then, their boss walks by and overhears their conversation.
Good morning, team. What seems to be the problem?
The coffee machine is broken again, sir.
Yes, we were just discussing whether we should report it to IT.
Actually, I already called them. They should be here any minute now.
Bob and Jenny exchange looks of surprise and gratitude.
Thank you, sir. That's really thoughtful of you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
With the promise of a fresh cup of coffee, they head to their desks and start their workday. As they settle into their work, Bob notices something unusual.
Hey Jenny, have you noticed the new artwork hanging in the lobby?
Oh yeah, I saw it this morning. It looks really nice.
Unbeknownst to them, their boss had recently commissioned a local artist to create a piece for the office.
I wonder how much that cost the company.
I heard our boss is really invested in creating a more welcoming and creative office space.
As they discuss their thoughts on the artwork, they receive an email from their boss requesting an impromptu meeting.
That's odd. Did he mention what it was about?
No, but I hope it's not about the coffee machine.
They make their way to their boss's office, feeling a bit nervous about what the meeting may entail.
Good morning, Bob and Jenny. Please take a seat.
The boss gestures towards the chairs in front of his desk before getting straight to the point.
I wanted to talk to you both about something important. As you know, we've been trying to create a more engaging work environment. And I believe that starts with investing in our employees' well-being and happiness. With that in mind, I'm pleased to announce that we'll be launching a wellness program next month.
Bob and Jenny are taken aback by the news, as they had never heard of such initiative being taken at their workplace.
That's great news, sir. What kind of activities will be involved in the program?
We're still finalizing the details, but we're considering yoga classes, meditation sessions, and even a nutrition workshop.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Thank you for prioritizing our well-being at work.
As the meeting wraps up, Bob and Jenny leave the room feeling grateful for the positive changes being made at their workplace. They head back to their desks, feeling re-energized and more motivated than ever to tackle their tasks for the day. As Bob and Jenny make their way back to their desks, Bob's initial excitement about the wellness program starts to fade.
A wellness program? What a waste of time and money. I have too much work to do to be spending my time on yoga and meditation.
Jenny notices the change in Bob's demeanor and asks him if something is wrong.
Hey, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I don't know. I just can't help feeling like this whole wellness program is a waste of time and resources.
Jenny looks at him sympathetically before offering her perspective.
I can understand why you might feel that way, but don't you think it's important to take care of our well-being and mental health?
Sure, but we're not getting paid to do yoga or meditate. And what if they expect us to stay later to make up for the time we spend on these activities?
That's a valid concern, but we won't know until we get more details about the program. Plus, even just taking a short break during the day can actually make us more productive in the long run.
Bob seems skeptical but decides to keep an open mind about the program.
I guess you're right. It can't hurt to give it a try.
As the day goes on, Bob finds himself feeling increasingly stressed and overwhelmed with his workload.
This wellness program is not going to solve my problems. If anything, it'll just add more stress and pressure to my already busy schedule.
Despite his reservations, Bob decides to attend the first yoga class offered by the wellness program after work.
Might as well see what all the fuss is about.
However, as he struggles to keep up with the poses and clear his mind, Bob finds himself feeling even more stressed and frustrated than before.
This is a waste of my time. I should be working on my projects instead of wasting my energy on this.
As the class comes to an end, Bob leaves feeling even more drained and unmotivated than before.
That was a complete waste of time. I'm never doing that again.
The next day at work, Bob decides to skip the meditation session, convinced that it won't make any difference in his productivity or well-being. Jenny notices his absence but decides not to push the issue. However, as the days go by, Bob finds himself struggling more and more with his workload and stress levels. He starts to wonder if maybe he should have given the wellness program a chance after all. As Bob and Jenny continue with their work, they engage in a mundane conversation about the upcoming office party.
Hey, have you heard anything about the office party next week?
Not really. I heard it's going to be at that new restaurant downtown.
Oh, yeah? Do you know what the theme is this year?
I think it's supposed to be a masquerade ball.
I don't know if I have a mask lying around.
Don't worry, they usually provide masks for everyone. But to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'd rather just go home and relax after work.
Yeah, same here. I don't like the idea of being forced to socialize with everyone from work.
As they continue with their work, they both feel a sense of relief knowing that the weekend is fast approaching.
Hey, do you have any plans for the weekend?
Not really. I was thinking of just catching up on some sleep and maybe doing some shopping.
Sounds like a good plan. I was thinking of watching the game and maybe going out for dinner with my wife.
They both return to their work, grateful for the small talk that helped break up the monotony of the day. However, as the day comes to a close, they can't help but feel a sense of dread for the upcoming workweek. As the clock strikes noon, Bob and Jenny realize that it's time for their lunch break.
Hey, Jenny, want to grab some lunch together?
Sure, where do you want to go?
How about that new sandwich shop down the street? I heard they have some really good options.
They make their way to the sandwich shop, discussing their plans for the weekend and their thoughts on the latest office gossip.
So, have you heard anything about the new project that our team is working on?
No, not really. Our boss has been pretty tight-lipped about it.
As they place their orders and wait for their food, they notice a familiar face at a nearby table. They engage in small talk, discussing their work and sharing stories about their personal lives. However, as they start to eat their sandwiches, they notice something unusual.
Ugh, there's something off about this sandwich. It tastes kind of funny.
You're right. Mine doesn't taste quite right either. Yeah, we should have just gone to our usual spot.
Despite their underwhelming lunch, they head back to the office feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the rest of their day. As the afternoon wears on, Bob and Jenny start to feel increasingly unwell.
Oh man, now I'm starting to feel sick.
Are you okay?
Suddenly, they realize that they may have all contracted food poisoning from their sandwiches.
Oh no, this is not good.
We should probably report it to the restaurant and our boss.
They quickly inform their boss about the situation and head home, feeling miserable and nauseous.
This was not how I wanted my day to end.
At least we have each other for support, right?
Over the next few days, they all experience the unpleasant symptoms of food poisoning, causing them to miss work and disrupting their weekend plans.
I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, me neither. But at least we caught it early and took action.
Despite their misfortune, they take comfort in knowing that they had each other for support during this trying time. With the day coming to an end and their unpleasant lunch experience behind them, Bob and Jenny head home feeling drained and exhausted.
I can't wait to go home and take a nap.
Yeah, me too. It's been a long day.
As they part ways, they both look forward to some much-needed rest and relaxation.
Have a good evening, Jenny.
You too, Bob. See you tomorrow.
They head home, hoping for a better day tomorrow and looking forward to a fresh start. If you want to improve your English vocabulary and better understand the conversation between Bob and Jenny, check out learnwithtext.com. There you'll find the full story with all of the vocabulary words highlighted and defined. Improve your language skills and comprehension by exploring learnwithtext.com today. It's a Monday morning at the office and Bob and Jenny have just arrived.
The United Kingdom is well known for its rich and diverse culture. The country has numerous varied traditions, customs, and historical landmarks that its people treasure. Among these is the royal family, a source of pride in British culture that is revered around the world. For generations, the royal family has been an important element of British culture. The monarchy has changed dramatically over time, but it continues to maintain a special place in the hearts of the British people. Queen Elizabeth II, the present monarch, has been on the throne for over 60 years and is the longest reigning monarch in British history. The royal family's role in maintaining and promoting the country's cultural history is one of the reasons why it is so vital to the UK. Many of the most notable historical sites and traditions in the United Kingdom are strongly tied with the monarchy. Buckingham Palace, the Queen's official residence, is one of the most iconic structures in the world, attracting millions of people each year. The engagement of the royal family in state events such as the state opening of Parliament and the Trooping of the Colour ceremonial is also an important aspect of the UK's cultural identity. Furthermore, the royal family represents unity and continuity. They reflect the shared history and customs of the country, and their presence helps to bring people together. The royal family is also involved in several charitable and philanthropic initiatives, supporting a wide range of causes and organizations around the United Kingdom. The royal family, despite its importance, is not without controversy. Some argue that the monarchy is antiquated and no longer relevant in modern culture. Others argue that the cost of preserving the monarchy represents a waste of taxpayer dollars. Despite this, the royal family is still a source of pride for many people in the United Kingdom. Its cultural and historical significance cannot be overstated, and the monarchy continues to play a significant role in establishing the country's character and traditions. Finally, the royal family is a source of pride in British society. It symbolizes the country's rich history and traditions, as well as its dedication to unity and continuation. While the monarchy is not without criticism, it continues to play a vital role in British life and culture.
Japan is a country that has always been at the forefront of global development, with a rich history and culture that is admired around the world. However, in recent years, Japan's political situation has been somewhat turbulent, with several factors contributing to this instability. One of the primary reasons for this instability is the country's aging population. Japan's population is rapidly aging, with a declining birth rate and increasing life expectancy. This demographic shift has put immense pressure on the government to provide adequate support for the elderly, including healthcare, social welfare, and pensions. As a result, the government has had to implement policies aimed at addressing this issue, such as raising the retirement age and investing in technologies to improve elder care. Another significant factor impacting Japan's political situation is the country's relationship with its neighbors, particularly China and South Korea. Tensions between these countries have been high due to territorial disputes, historical grievances, and economic competition. This has led to frequent diplomatic spats, with both sides engaging in aggressive rhetoric and actions. In addition, Japan's economy has been struggling in recent years, with slow growth and persistent deflation. The government has attempted to stimulate the economy through various measures, such as monetary easing and fiscal stimulus, but these efforts have had limited success. The COVID-19 pandemic has only exacerbated these challenges, causing widespread disruptions to businesses and supply chains. Another issue that has been plaguing Japan's political landscape is corruption. Several high-profile scandals involving government officials have come to light in recent years, including the arrest and conviction of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's close associates. The public's trust in the government has been eroded as a result, with many calling for greater transparency and accountability. Despite these challenges, Japan has remained a stable democracy with a relatively strong rule of law. The country's constitution, which was drafted by the United States after World War II, enshrines democratic values and guarantees basic rights and freedoms. Japan also has a robust civil society, with active citizen groups and NGOs working to drive social and political change. Looking ahead, Japan's political situation is likely to remain complex and challenging. The country will need to address its aging population, economic struggles, and relationships with neighboring countries while upholding its democratic principles and fighting corruption. It will require strong leadership and innovative policies to navigate these issues successfully. Hey man, what are you up to this weekend?
Not much, just trying to get my taxes done. You?
Actually, I was thinking of going to the movies. Have you seen anything good lately? No, I haven't had time to keep up with any new releases. What were you thinking of seeing?
Well, I heard the new action movie is supposed to be pretty good. Do you like action movies?
Yeah, definitely. Who's in it?
I think it's the guy from that TV show we used to watch, you know, the one with the zombies.
Oh yeah, I remember him. What time were you thinking of going?
How about the 7 o'clock showing? That way we'll still have time to grab dinner afterwards.
Sounds good to me. Where do you want to meet?
Let's meet at the theater around 6:30, so we have plenty of time to get our tickets and snacks before the movie starts.
Perfect. Do you want me to buy my ticket ahead of time or just get it when we get there?
It might be a good idea to buy your ticket ahead of time, just in case it sells out. You can use that app that lets you reserve seats.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. I'll go ahead and do that now.
No problem. I'm really excited for this movie. I've been looking forward to it for weeks.
Me too. It's always more fun to see movies with friends.
Definitely. And afterwards, we can go grab some burgers or something.
Sounds like a plan. Do you have any place in mind?
There's that new burger joint that just opened up on Main Street. I've heard good things about it.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to try that place. Let's go there.
Great. It's settled then. We'll meet at the theater at 6:30 and then head over to the burger place after the movie.
Can't wait. It's going to be a great night. Thanks for inviting me out, man.
No problem. Anytime.
Hey, before I forget, did you hear about the new virtual reality experience that opened up in town?
No, I haven't. What is it?
It's supposed to be this really immersive gaming experience where you wear a VR headset and actually feel like you're in the game.
That sounds pretty cool. Have you tried it out yet?
No, I haven't had the chance yet, but I was thinking we could go try it out after the movie if you're down.
I don't know. It sounds kind of expensive.
Actually, I found a deal online where we can get half off our tickets if we buy them together.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm definitely down. Let's do it.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and book the tickets now then.
Sounds good. You always find the best deals, man.
Yeah, I try my best. Speaking of deals, have you started your taxes yet?
Ugh, not yet. I've been putting it off for as long as possible.
Well, you better get on that soon. The deadline is coming up fast.
I know. It's just such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, but think about how relieved you'll feel once it's done. Plus, you don't want to risk getting hit with any late fees or penalties.
I know. I'll get to it eventually.
Alright, well make sure you do. I don't want the IRS coming after you or anything.
Thanks for the reminder, Mom.
Hey, I'm just looking out for you. Now let's go enjoy this movie and VR experience. Taxes can wait another day.
Yeah, you're right. Let's not let taxes ruin our night.
Speaking of which, have you heard from our other friends? Are they coming with us to the VR experience?
Actually, I just got a call from them. They can't make it tonight. One of them got called into work, and the other one is feeling sick.
Ah, man. That sucks. I was really looking forward to hanging out with them too. Yeah, me too. But hey, we can still have fun together.
Definitely. We always have a good time, no matter what.
Hey, I just got an idea. Why don't we invite my cousin and her boyfriend? They've been wanting to try out VR for a while now.
That's a great idea. The more the merrier, right?
Exactly. I'll give them a call and see if they're available.
Sounds good. While you do that, I'll go ahead and get tickets for all of us, so we don't have to worry about it later.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
After a few minutes, Bob returns with good news.
They said they can make it. And they're excited to join us.
Sweet. This is going to be even better than I thought.
As they head towards the theater, they notice a long line of people waiting outside.
Oh man. This line is crazy long.
Yeah, looks like everyone had the same idea as us.
Just when they were starting to lose hope, someone taps on their shoulder.
Hey guys, I overheard you talking about wanting to see the VR experience. I happen to have some extra tickets. Interested?
Are you serious? That would be amazing.
Yeah, no problem. I can't use them anyway. I bought them for my friends who bailed on me last minute. Wow, thanks so much. You're a lifesaver.
As they enter the VR experience, they realize how lucky they are to have met that stranger. It's one of the most thrilling experiences they've ever had.
That was insane. I can't believe we got to do that.
I know, right? And to think we almost missed out because of the long line.
Yeah, it just goes to show that things always have a way of working out in the end.
Definitely. Now, let's go grab those burgers and celebrate our stroke of luck.
Sounds like a plan. And tomorrow, I promise I'll start on my taxes.
Haha, okay. We'll hold you to that.
As they headed to the burger joint, Friend One couldn't help but feel guilty for procrastinating on his taxes. He knew he had to face them eventually, but the thought of it made him anxious. As they sat down to eat, John noticed that something was bothering his friend.
Hey man, you seem a bit off. Is everything okay?
I don't know. I just can't shake this feeling of guilt. I should have stayed home and worked on my taxes instead of going out tonight.
Hey, don't beat yourself up over it. We all need a break from time to time. And besides, it's not like you're behind on your taxes or anything, right?
Actually, I am. I haven't even started them yet.
What? Why didn't you tell me earlier? We could have rescheduled for another night.
I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to disappoint you.
Disappoint me? Are you kidding? Your taxes are way more important than one night out. You should have told me earlier, so we could have come up with a plan to tackle them together.
I know, I messed up. And now I'm going to have to pay the price. If I don't file my taxes by the deadline, I'll be hit with some pretty serious penalties and interest fees.
Oh no, I had no idea it was that serious.
As they finished their burgers in silence, Friend One couldn't help but regret his decision to put off his taxes for so long. He knew he was in for a rough few weeks as he scrambled to get everything done on time. The night that started out so promising ended in disappointment and regret. Friend One learned the hard way that procrastination can have serious consequences and vowed to never make the same mistake again. Feel free to request more conversation topics in the comments. Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. April 16, 1972, was an eventful day for presidential candidate George McGovern. He had just finished delivering a speech in South Dakota and was looking forward to some rest and relaxation at his hotel room. Little did he know that this day would be forever etched in history as the day he got stuck in the shower. As McGovern stepped into the hotel shower, the water suddenly turned scalding hot, forcing him to jump back and hit his elbow on the faucet. In pain and disoriented, he stumbled and found himself unable to get out of the shower. The more he tried, the more he got stuck.
the hotel staff heard his calls for help and quickly rushed to his aid. However, they were unable to free him from the shower. It was clear that they needed professional help. The fire department was called, and firefighters arrived with saws and other tools to cut through the pipes and get McGovern out of the shower. Meanwhile, news reporters who had been following the campaign trail heard about the incident and raced to the scene. In no time, the hotel lobby was filled with people trying to catch a glimpse of the presidential candidate stuck in the shower. Reporters were snapping photos and taking notes, while firefighters worked frantically to free him. Finally, after what must have seemed like an eternity, McGovern was freed from the shower. He emerged, soaking wet and shivering, to a round of applause and cheers. Despite the embarrassing incident, McGovern managed to keep a good sense of humor about it. He joked with reporters that this was the kind of thing that happened when you were running for president. The incident quickly made headlines around the world, with newspapers and TV stations reporting on the shower debacle of the presidential candidate. It became one of the most memorable moments of the campaign trail, and even today, over 50 years later, people still talk about it. Looking back on that day, McGovern himself said that he was grateful for the incident. He believed that it showed him in a more human light and helped voters relate to him as a person, rather than just a politician. In the end, despite getting stuck in the shower, George McGovern went on to win his party's nomination for president but lost to Richard Nixon in the general election. However, the shower debacle remains one of the most entertaining and unforgettable moments in American political history.
The first space shuttle was launched into space on April 12, 1981. The STS-1 mission was important because it heralded the start of a new era in manned spaceflight. However, we will not be discussing this today. Instead, let us discuss another major and very amusing occurrence that occurred on this day. Albert Einstein, the world's most famous physicist, died on April 12, 1955, at the age of 76. But what's the joke here, you might ask? It turns out that one of the pathologists who performed the autopsy stole his brain shortly after his death. Dr. Thomas Harvey removed Einstein's brain without authorization from his family or the authorities after his death. For several years, he stored it in formaldehyde-filled jars in his basement. He eventually decided to perform a brain research in the hopes of discovering something that could explain Einstein's genius. The theft of Einstein's brain was not detected until Harvey contacted experts who were interested in researching it some years later. Various brain investigations have been undertaken throughout the years, but none have reached any substantial findings about Einstein's IQ or talents. In reality, some scientists have challenged Harvey's handling of the brain and the ensuing investigations. They claim that the sample size is insufficient to draw significant conclusions, and that the conditions in which the brain was maintained may have affected its integrity. Despite the controversy surrounding Einstein's brain theft, it remains an intriguing and rather amusing anecdote in scientific history. Moving on to more serious concerns, Soviet astronaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human to orbit the Earth on April 12, 1961. This was a key milestone in the Cold War space race between the United States and the Soviet Union. Gagarin's mission lasted slightly over 2 hours, and he made one orbit around the Earth. His mission's accomplishment was a major propaganda win for the Soviet Union, sparking a fresh attempt by the US to catch up in the space race. His flight had far-reaching consequences for the future of space exploration. It proved that humans could live and work in space, paving the door for future manned trips to the moon and beyond. Another significant event on this day was the signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1866. This act, which overrode President Andrew Johnson's veto, awarded all people born in the United States citizenship and equal rights, regardless of color. The act was a crucial step forward in the civil rights struggle, laying the framework for subsequent laws such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. To summarize, April 12th has been a day of both tremendous accomplishments and oddities throughout history. This day has witnessed many noteworthy events, ranging from the launch of the first space shuttle to the theft of Einstein's brain. However, it is critical to realize that the significance of these events extends far beyond their entertainment value. They have shaped our globe and will continue to shape the direction of human history for future generations. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has issued a warning regarding the risks of using free public phone chargers. These stations, according to the FBI, may include hazardous software that can steal your personal information or damage your phone. Here's everything you need to know to keep yourself safe. First and foremost, it is critical to comprehend the concept of a phone charging station. These are free public charging stations that can be found at airports, shopping malls, and other public places. They usually contain a range of cords and charging ports to accommodate various phone models. While free phone charging may appear to be a convenience, the FBI warns that these stations can pose a security concern. Malicious software, or malware, can be simply installed on the charging station or the cords. This can be accomplished in a couple of minutes and is extremely difficult to detect. Once deployed, the malware can perform a variety of functions. It has the capability of stealing personal information such as passwords and credit card data. It can potentially harm your phone by causing it to overheat or rapidly draining its battery. To minimize these concerns, the FBI advises not utilizing public phone charging stations at all. Instead, they recommend bringing your own charger or portable battery pack. These are reasonably priced and can be found at most electronics retailers. If you must use a public phone charging station, you can take certain precautions to reduce your risk. First, make sure the station appears legitimate. It's advisable to avoid anything that appears strange or manufactured. Second, if at all feasible, use your own charging wire. If you must use the charging station's cable, thoroughly inspect it for evidence of tampering or damage. Finally, while your phone is connected to the charging station, avoid inputting any important information such as passwords or credit card details. This will help to avoid the theft of your personal information. To summarize, while free public phone charging stations may appear to be a convenient choice, they also pose a significant security concern. The FBI cautions that thieves can use these stations to install hazardous software that can steal your personal information or damage your phone. To be safe, avoid using these stations altogether or take efforts to reduce the risk. Remember, prevention is always preferable to treatment.
A conversation about the weekend. Hey, how was your weekend? It was good, thanks. I went on a hike with some friends and then had dinner with my family. How about you? Not bad. I went to a movie and did some shopping. What movie did you see? We saw a new release called The Quiet Place. It was pretty scary. Oh, I've heard about that one. Did you like it? Yeah, I thought it was really well done. The acting was great and the story kept me on the edge of my seat. Now, let's break down each sentence and explain the grammar and vocabulary used. Hey, how was your weekend? This is a common greeting and question used in English to ask someone about their weekend. Hey is a casual way to say hello. How is asking for information about the weekend, while was is the past tense of is, which means to be. Your is a possessive pronoun, showing that the weekend being referred to belongs to the person being addressed. It was good, thanks. I went on a hike with some friends and then had dinner with my family. How about you? This response uses the past simple tense to describe past events. It refers to the weekend that was just mentioned. Good is an adjective used to describe something positive. Thanks is a polite way of expressing gratitude. I went is the past simple form of go, which means to move from one place to another. On a hike means that they walked in nature for exercise or enjoyment. With some friends means that there were other people present during the activity. Then indicates a sequence of events, and had dinner means to eat an evening meal. With my family means that the people they ate with were related to them. Finally, how about you, is a way to ask the other person to share their own experience. Not bad. I went to a movie and did some shopping. What movie did you see? This response uses an idiom to express that the speaker's weekend was okay. Not bad means that it wasn't great, but it also wasn't terrible. I went is the past simple form of go, which means to move from one place to another. To a movie means that they watched a film at the cinema. And did some shopping means they purchased goods at various stores. What movie did you see, is a question asking for the name of the movie the first speaker watched. We saw a new release called The Quiet Place. It was pretty scary. This sentence uses the past simple tense to describe a past event. We refers to the group of people who went to the cinema. Saw is the past simple form of see, which means to perceive with the eyes. A new release means that the movie was recently made available to the public. Called is a verb used to introduce the title of something. The Quiet Place is the name of the movie. Pretty is an adverb used to modify scary, meaning that it was quite frightening. Oh, I've heard about that one. Did you like it? Oh, in this context is an interjection used to express surprise or interest. I've heard about that one means that the speaker had heard of the movie before this conversation. Did you like it, is a question asking for the speaker's opinion of the movie. Yeah, I thought it was really well done. The acting was great and the story kept me on the edge of my seat. Yeah is an informal way to indicate agreement or confirmation. I thought is a way to express one's opinion. It was really well done means that the speaker thinks the movie was made with high quality. The acting was great means that the actors did a good job in their roles. And is used to connect two pieces of information together. The story kept me on the edge of my seat means that the plot was exciting and suspenseful. A conversation about the economy. Hey, have you been following the news about the economy? A bit. Why do you ask? Well, I've been hearing a lot about inflation and how it might affect us. Yeah, I saw that too. Apparently prices are going up for a lot of things. That's what I've been hearing. Do you think it will have a big impact on us? It's hard to say. I know some people are worried about it though. Me too. I've been trying to save more and be careful with my spending just in case. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It never hurts to be prepared. Now let's break down each sentence and explain the grammar and vocabulary used. Hey, have you been following the news about the economy? This is a common way to start a conversation about a particular topic. Hey is a casual way to say hello. Have you been following is a present perfect tense, which means that the action has happened at some point in the past and may continue into the present. The news refers to events or information that is happening in the world. About the economy specifies that the news they're discussing pertains to the financial system of a country or region. A bit. Why do you ask? This response uses an adverb to indicate that the person has only been following the news somewhat. Why do you ask is a polite way to prompt the other person to explain the reason for the question. Well, I've been hearing a lot about inflation and how it might affect us. Well is a transitional word often used to introduce a new idea. I've been hearing is a present perfect continuous tense, which indicates that the speaker has heard continuously over a period of time. A lot about inflation refers to rising prices for goods and services. And how it might affect us means that there may be consequences for individuals or society as a whole due to inflation. Yeah, I saw that too. Apparently prices are going up for a lot of things. Yeah is an informal way to indicate agreement or confirmation. I saw that too uses the past simple tense to indicate that the speaker has previously read or heard about the topic. Apparently is an adverb used to introduce information that the speaker has not personally verified. Prices are going up means that the cost of goods and services is increasing. For a lot of things indicates that many sectors of the economy are affected. That's what I've been hearing. Do you think it will have a big impact on us? This sentence repeats a phrase from earlier in the conversation to confirm understanding. Do you think prompts the other person to express their opinion? It will have a big impact on us means that the speaker is asking whether they should be concerned about the effects of inflation. It's hard to say. I know some people are worried about it though. It's hard to say is a common phrase indicating uncertainty. I know implies that the speaker has heard opinions from others. Some people are worried means that there are concerns amongst some members of society about the impact of inflation. Me too. I've been trying to save more and be careful with my spending just in case. Me too indicates that the speaker shares the same concern as the other person. I've been trying to save more uses the present perfect continuous tense to indicate that this behavior has been ongoing. Be careful with my spending means that the speaker is being cautious with their money due to the possibility of rising prices. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It never hurts to be prepared. Yeah is used again as agreement or confirmation. That's probably a good idea indicates that the speaker agrees with the other person's plan of action. It never hurts to be prepared means that it's always beneficial to be ready for unexpected events. A conversation about shoes. Hey, nice shoes. Are they new? Thanks. Yeah, I just got them last week. They look really comfortable. What brand are they? They're Adidas. I always buy that brand because they're so comfortable. I see. Where did you get them? I got them at the mall. There was a sale going on and I couldn't resist. That's a great deal. How much were they? They were $60, but with the sale, I got them for $40. Wow, that's a good price. I might have to go check out that sale myself. Yeah, you should. They had some other great deals too. Now let's break down each sentence and explain the grammar and vocabulary used. Hey, nice shoes. Are they new? This is a common way to compliment someone on their appearance. Hey is a casual way to say hello. Nice shoes is a compliment about what the person is wearing. Are they new is a question asking if they were recently purchased. Thanks. Yeah, I just got them last week. Thanks is a polite way to respond to a compliment. Yeah is an informal way to indicate agreement or confirmation. I just got them last week uses the past simple tense to indicate that the purchase was recent. They look really comfortable. What brand are they? They look is a way to express the speaker's opinion on the shoe's appearance. Really comfortable is a compliment about the shoe's feel. What brand are they is a question asking for information about the manufacturer. They're Adidas. I always buy that brand because they're so comfortable. They're Adidas is a direct answer to the previous question. I always buy that brand indicates a pattern of behavior. Because they're so comfortable is the reason for the pattern. I see. Where did you get them? I see is an acknowledgement of the previous statement. Where did you get them is a question asking for information about the store or location of purchase. I got them at the mall. There was a sale going on and I couldn't resist. I got them at the mall is a direct answer to the previous question. There was a sale going on is an explanation of the circumstances surrounding the purchase. And I couldn't resist means that the speaker was unable to control their urge to purchase due to the sale. That's a great deal. How much were they? That's a great deal is a way to express approval of the purchase. How much were they is a question asking for the price of the shoes. They were $60, but with the sale, I got them for $40. They were $60 indicates the original price of the shoes. But with the sale, I got them for $40 is an explanation of the amount paid after the discount. Wow, that's a good price. I might have to go check out that sale myself. Wow is used to express surprise or admiration. That's a good price is a compliment on the amount paid for the shoes. I might have to go check out that sale myself means that the speaker is considering visiting the store to take advantage of the sales. Yeah, you should. They had some other great deals too. Yeah is used again as agreement or confirmation. You should is a suggestion that the speaker agrees with the idea of visiting the sale. They had some other great deals too, as an indication that there were other discounted items available at the store.
Socks are a basic piece of apparel that most individuals wear every day to protect and comfort their feet. They are available in a variety of lengths, thicknesses, and materials. This post will go over two kinds of socks: long socks and short socks. Socks with long legs. Because they reach the knees, long socks are sometimes known as knee-high socks. Because they cover more of the leg, they are often thicker than short socks. They are available in a range of styles such as sports, dress, and casual. Long socks are popular among athletes who require extra support and warmth for their muscles when exercising. Athletic long socks are intended to compress and support the legs during exercise. They aid in the reduction of muscular fatigue and the prevention of ailments such as shin splints. Compression socks are ideal for runners, basketball players, and other athletes who place a lot of strain on their legs. Dress long socks are composed of finer fabrics, such as silk or wool, and are intended to be worn with formal clothing. They are often solid colors with slight patterns or textures. Dress long socks are a popular choice for business settings since they lend a sense of refinement to any ensemble. Casual long socks are ideal for wearing with jeans or shorts on a daily basis. They come in a variety of bright colors and fun patterns. Cartoon characters, stripes, and geometric forms are particularly popular among young people. Socks that are too short. Short socks, often known as ankle socks or no-show socks, are worn below the ankle bone. They are thinner than long socks and composed of breathable fabrics such as cotton, nylon, or polyester. Short socks are popular among athletes who like to exercise barefoot. In terms of support and compression, athletic short socks are similar to their long counterparts. They are suited for sports requiring swift movement and frequent direction changes, such as tennis. Casual short socks are ideal for wearing with sneakers or casual shoes on a daily basis. They are available in a variety of colors and designs, and they are a fun way to add some personality to your outfit. The advantages of wearing long socks. Wearing long socks has a number of advantages. For starters, they can keep your legs toasty in chilly weather. Second, they provide additional support to the muscles, lowering the risk of injuries such as shin splints. Third, they can be a fashion statement, adding a one-of-a-kind touch to your outfit. Finally, they can keep your skin from rubbing against the inside of your shoes, causing blisters. The advantages of wearing short socks. Short socks provide their own set of advantages. For starters, they allow your feet to breathe, lowering the risk of foot odor and fungal diseases. Second, they are less noticeable than lengthy socks and are best paired with shorts or cropped pants. Third, they provide a barefoot feel while still protecting the sole of your foot. Finally, they are comfy to wear in hot weather and help keep your feet from overheating. Conclusion. To summarize, long socks and short socks serve different functions and provide diverse advantages. Long socks are suitable for athletes who want additional muscular support and warmth, whilst short socks are ideal for regular usage and provide a barefoot feel. Whatever style of sock you choose, make sure it fits well, is made of breathable materials, and provides the necessary level of support and protection for your activities.
A filmmaker who robbed a bank to fund his movie has been sentenced to 10 years in prison, according to reports. Naco Ray Brown of Baltimore was given the sentence after taking nearly $4,300 from the McCoy Federal Credit Union in Belle Isle, Florida last June. Brown, 55, pleaded guilty in January to the robbery charge. Although he cited his desire to complete filming his movie, prosecutors alleged that Brown had previously been convicted of 3 other bank robberies, making his claim dubious. The defendant's previous convictions, however, could not be used against him at his trial due to Florida's rules on prior convictions. He also received credit for time served during the trial. Brown reportedly told authorities after his arrest that he was an independent filmmaker who needed money to finish his film, which he called Now or Never. However, it is unclear whether such a project actually existed or if it was just a ploy to get away with the robbery. According to The Insider, a news outlet covering crime and justice, Brown handed one of the bank tellers a note stating that he had a weapon and demanding cash. He then fled the scene, but police later arrested him based on eyewitness accounts and surveillance footage. During sentencing, U.S. District Judge Carlos E. Mendoza pointed out that the defendant had failed to learn from his past mistakes, saying that he keeps going back to what he knows, and that's robbing banks. Brown's criminal history includes 2 convictions for bank robbery in Maryland in the 1990s and another in Delaware in 2006. He had been released early from prison following his 3rd conviction, raising questions about the effectiveness of the justice system's handling of repeat offenders. The case highlights the desperate measures some filmmakers take to get their projects off the ground. While many turn to crowdfunding websites like Kickstarter or Indiegogo, others resort to more extreme methods like robbing banks. However, such actions can have severe consequences not only for the filmmakers themselves but also for their victims. In this case, Brown's robbery caused distress and trauma to the bank tellers who were threatened and forced to hand over cash against their will. In conclusion, the sentencing of Naco Ray Brown serves as a reminder that crime does not pay, and that filmmakers should seek legal and ethical means of financing their projects. The justice system must also do more to address the root causes of repeat offending and provide effective rehabilitation measures to prevent individuals from committing crimes in the future. A team of scientists has made a groundbreaking discovery in an underwater cave in Mexico, ancient microbes that have been dormant for over 50,000 years. The finding could provide important insights into the evolution of life on our planet and how it may have adapted to extreme environments. The researchers, led by Dr. Laura Villanueva from the University of Yucatan, were exploring the depths of the Sac-Actin underwater cave system when they stumbled upon the microbes. The Sac-Actin complex is the largest underwater cave system in the world, spanning over 350 kilometers of interconnected tunnel and passageways. Using a state-of-the-art sequencing technique, the team was able to analyze the DNA of the microbes and determine that they belong to a group of bacteria known as the Desulfotomaculum. This group is particularly well suited to surviving in extreme conditions, such as high temperatures and low oxygen levels. But what makes this discovery so significant is that the microbes have been dormant for tens of thousands of years. They were found deep inside the cave system, where there is no light or nutrient source, and are believed to have survived by feeding off organic compounds in the surrounding rocks. This is a really exciting discovery, says Dr. Villanueva. It shows us that life can adapt and survive in even the most extreme environments. And it raises all sorts of questions about how microbial communities evolve over time. The researchers now plan to study the microbes further, to learn more about their genetic makeup and how they have managed to survive for so long. They will also investigate whether similar microbes exist in other extreme environments around the world, such as deep sea vents and hot springs. The discovery of these ancient microbes could have important implications for astrobiology, the study of life beyond Earth. If life can survive in these extreme conditions on our own planet, it raises the possibility that similar life forms could exist on other planets or moons in our solar system, says Dr. Villanueva. The team's findings have been published in the journal Nature Communications, and have already garnered attention from the scientific community around the world. This is a truly remarkable discovery, says Dr. Mark Johnson, a microbiologist at the University of California, Los Angeles. It opens up a whole new area of research into the evolution and survival of microbial communities in extreme environments. As for what the future holds for the Sac-Actin cave system, Dr. Villanueva believes there could be many more exciting discoveries to come. This is just the beginning, she says. There are so many hidden secrets and mysteries waiting to be uncovered in this vast and unexplored underwater world.
American culture is a diverse and complex tapestry, made up of various influences from around the world. From fast food to Hollywood movies, American culture has become ubiquitous across the globe. However, there are still many aspects of American culture that remain untalked about. In this article, we will explore one such aspect, the culture of individualism. Individualism is deeply ingrained in American culture, and it is often cited as one of the defining characteristics of the country. From an early age, Americans are taught to be self-reliant, independent, and to pursue their own goals and ambitions. This culture of individualism is evident in many aspects of American life, from the way people approach work and education, to their attitudes towards social issues. One of the most striking examples of American individualism can be seen in the country's approach to healthcare. Unlike most other developed countries, the United States does not have a universal healthcare system. Instead, Americans are expected to pay for their own medical care either through private insurance or by paying out of pocket. This system has been criticized for being inefficient and unfair, but it also reflects the deeply held belief in individual responsibility that permeates American society. Another area where American individualism is evident is in the workplace. Unlike many other countries, where job security and stability are highly valued, Americans tend to prioritize career advancement and personal success over long-term job security. This can lead to a highly competitive and stressful work environment, but it also creates opportunities for individuals to achieve great success and recognition. The culture of individualism is also reflected in the American education system. American students are encouraged to pursue their own interests and passions, often at the expense of more traditional subjects like math and science. While this approach can lead to highly creative and innovative individuals, it can also result in a lack of basic knowledge and skills, which can be detrimental in the long run. However, the culture of individualism in America is not without its downsides. One of the major criticisms of this approach is that it can lead to a lack of community and social cohesion. Americans are often seen as highly individualistic, and many people outside the country view them as selfish and uncaring. This perception is not entirely unfounded, as Americans tend to be less involved in their communities and less likely to participate in civic activities than people in other countries. Another consequence of American individualism is the high levels of inequality and social stratification that exist in the country. While individual success is valued highly, there is little support for those who fall behind or struggle to make ends meet. This can result in a society that is deeply divided along economic and social lines, with little opportunity for upward mobility for those at the bottom. Despite these challenges, there are many ways in which American individualism can be harnessed for good. The entrepreneurial spirit that drives many Americans to start their own businesses and pursue their own dreams can lead to innovation and progress. The focus on personal responsibility and achievement can also create a sense of pride and accomplishment that can be highly motivating. In order to build a more compassionate and equitable society, however, it is important to balance the culture of individualism with a sense of community and social responsibility. This means providing a safety net for those who need it, investing in education and training programs that help people acquire the skills they need to succeed, and promoting civic engagement and volunteerism to encourage greater social cohesion. One of the most frequently misused grammar points in English is the use of the words affect and effect. These two words are often confused because they sound similar and have related meanings. However, their usage is quite different. In this article, we will explore the differences between affect and effect, provide examples of correct usage, and offer tips on how to avoid common mistakes. Understanding the difference between affect and effect. The word affect is a verb that means to influence or produce change. It refers to the act of making something happen or having an impact on someone or something. For example, the rainy weather affected my mood. The new medication affected her appetite. The strike affected the company's profits. On the other hand, effect is a noun that refers to the result or outcome of an action. It is what happens as a consequence of something else. For example, the effect of the earthquake was devastating.
The new policy had a positive effect on employee morale. The medication had a side effect of drowsiness. To get a better understanding of how to use affect and effect correctly, let's take a look at some examples. Her illness affected her ability to work. Verb. The medicine had a positive effect on her condition. Noun. His decision will affect the company's future. Verb. The effect of the pandemic on the economy has been severe. Noun. Here are some tips to help you avoid common mistakes when using affect and effect. First, remember that affect is a verb and effect is a noun. Think about whether you are trying to describe an action or a result. If it is an action, use affect. If it is a result, use effect. Try using synonyms to help you remember the difference. For example, affect can be replaced with influence or change, while effect can be replaced with outcome or result. Be careful not to confuse affect with affecting. Affecting means to bring about or cause, whereas effect means to influence. Always proofread your writing carefully to ensure that you have used the correct word. Here are some common mistakes to avoid when using affect and effect. Using affect as a verb. This is incorrect. Effect can only be used as a noun. Confusing affect with affecting. Remember that affect means to influence or change, while affecting means to bring about or cause. Using affect when you mean effect. Be sure to consider whether you are trying to describe an action or a result. Using effect when you mean effect. Again, be sure to consider whether you are trying to describe an action or a result. In conclusion, understanding the difference between affect and effect is crucial for clear communication in English. While they may sound similar, their usage is actually quite different. Remember that affect is a verb that means to influence or produce change, while effect is a noun that refers to the result or outcome of an action. By following the tips mentioned above and avoiding common mistakes, you can confidently use these two words correctly in your writing and speech.